about that, guys. Everybody to the Subject 4 podcast. We're a fan-made podcast about the 863 series here on YouTube and Twitch and everything else that we stream on. I want to thank everyone for coming, everyone who is on YouTube, everyone who is on Twitch, and yeah, thank you, everyone. Today we have a show for you. Today we are going to be joined by Sroxah. Sroxah, I invited you to speak. There you are. Hi, Sroxah.
Hello.
He's the man. Wait, what does it say on your profile on Spellbound? You're a trades of many, but a master of none, or something like that.
Yeah, probably jack of all trades, master of none. That's me.
That's not true. I've seen your Blender stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's really it's nothing I can do. So, yeah,
that's not true.
No, I can't do that. No, I like draw the line on Blender. I'm like, I'll dabble with like film editing and editing stuff. I just don't even know how you would get into creating something in Blender like you do. And to clue into the audience, Sroxah here likes to take evidence that we find in the series and turns them into like VR virtual reality stuff in Blender.
I've done a few items, just like 3D renders of things like the Geiger counter and concrete and a bunch of other random things. I take a lot of my creative inspiration from 863, and that's kind of what got me into the 3D stuff in the first place.
Yeah, and well, I mean, looking at the Geiger counter, you even have like the scratches on it, and I'm just like, this is so detailed. I love it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They're not exact, but it at a glance.
What was your favorite thing to do?
Oh man, my favorite thing to do. I did like an almost full model of Blue Base that I never finished, that I want to start over again and do now that I've learned more. That was pretty fun because you get to like stand in the mega desk office and look around. It feels like you're there, and I think that's really cool.
Like, can you actually go into it in like virtual reality and walk through Blue Base?
I haven't, but you probably could. I've put it into Unreal Engine and shot a Nerf gun in it.
It's so cool, and I'm like, it would be neat if we had the evidence in 3D form and we could go in and like virtual reality and like pick it up and hold it and look at it at different angles. That'd be just like a chef's kiss if we could do that. And
that would be awesome.
Yeah. And well, it's really cool. But other than Blender, like Blender is like your wizardry to me. I have no idea how you can do that. But you are also a mod with me on Spellbound and the Discord, and unlike me, you are also a mod on Reddit. How is it modding different stations like that for 863?
It's honestly mostly the same. It's the same issues come up across both that need to be dealt with, more or less. Spellbound is a little bit more social networky, so you get a little bit of stuff where people are posting social networky things that shouldn't be there that you don't get on Reddit, but that's really like the biggest difference.
With Spellbound, I've noticed is you get kind of the drama.
You get more of the drama, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a social networky thing. But you also have a Twitch. What's your Twitch channel for me again? And
it's twitch.tv/Sroxah, where I play video games.
Yes, and one of my favorite things to watch is you were building a theme park of 863. Well, a Spellbound theme park, because you had other things in there like Overkill and Dope or Nope, and so like the Dope or Nope coasters.
Yeah, that was fun. So I played Planet Coaster, and I built a theme park based around the creations of Spellbound, which was pretty fun. And it's not done, and I will go back and I'll do more of it eventually. It's one of those things that I kind of jump in and out of.
Well, it's like with Twitch and streaming games with Twitch, you have that like freedom to bounce around from game to game to game, and like whatever. If you start getting bored of a game, you can just play a different game. So
Yeah, I
d-
do, because I'm not known for playing any specific games, and I don't get locked into that because the last thing I want to do is play Minecraft for the next 12 years.
well, there are people making a living and doing just that. And we had dad streaming Minecraft last night, so that was
Overkill.
fun. If you guys
Was
missed it, it is awesome. It is awesome to see Overkill and him doing the voice.
The
Again,
Overkill voice is back. Oh, I've
yes,
been missing it.
Yeah. But I all day long I have been like laughing at laughing because I'm like, who streams? Who and on that kind of a platform that Matthias has would stream and forget he needs mods.
Yeah.
So you had all those people.
That was fun.
I was like trying desperately to get his attention because I could just see the spamming and I could just see it all going wrong for him in the chat and him having not a clue and just having fun of Minecraft. So it was like, you need a mod, and he finally got a hold of me. And then it was all like, I was at work when this was happening. So it was all like, oh crap. I was like, oh, thank goodness he gave me a mod. He made me a mod. And then I'm like, oh crap. I have to like pay attention to my real life job, but also have to pay attention to this. I'm the only mod on this 1,000 player stream. So like 1,000 viewer stream. And I'm like, oh, well, and I was only on my phone. So
I'm sure if Overkill comes back and does some more, that there might be some planning that goes into it, and maybe we can get some moderation in there.
Yes,
it's very kind of like, let's just turn on the cameras and see who shows up. And I liked it. I thought that was really, really cool.
It was
a really chill vibe.
Well, I mean, yeah, because and you said it on the Spellbound server, the moderator server. It was just like Overkill channel was just Matt and Tanner just goofing off.
Yeah, I love it. Bring it back. I want more Overkill.
More Overkill. So, well, back to you. Do you have any other projects in the works?
I do post some of my 3D creations on a YouTube channel called Sroxah Creations, and that's pretty much it. That's all I do.
I like how you're like, that's all I do. I just like mod on 3 different platforms. I do Twitch, and then I build things in Blender. The huge.
I have a full-time job. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, you do. You also have a full-time job like I do, like many of the moderators do. So, yeah, it's fun times over there modding. Oh, the things we find. But so this is an interesting episode that we find ourselves in. Very Dope or Nope feel. That's why I named it Dope or Nope.
Dope or Nope, but they resisted the urge to rate the products Dope or Nope, which I appreciated.
You appreciated that?
I appreciate that they didn't rate them Dope or Nope.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I appreciated that. Well, he was on his brother's Lemon Made channel, and he had to rate his brother's products Dope or Nope because he says he doesn't do anything else.
So, Lemon Made, wow, that is a throwback.
I liked Lemon Made. I really did because it was I don't know. I like buildy, crafty type of things. Like when people like if you streamed yourself building in Blender, which probably would kill your computer to do, but if you could stream that, I would watch that. I would watch that in a heartbeat. There's just something about watching somebody, even if it's a painting like Bob Ross. Like I grew up watching Bob Ross. It's just something about somebody taking nothing and turning it into this huge project and something that is usable or art or whatever you're going for. And with Lemon Made, it was really nice to watch like them to do challenges on building things. And like the episode that I was referring to was J. Fred built a hidden room, a hidden door with a bookshelf, and Matthias had to go and figure out where the hidden room was. So he found it really quick because I mean,
Yeah.
it was at the end of the hall. There was just a bookshelf that was built into the wall, but I'm like, I want that. So, but anyway, enough about other channels. So we'll go ahead and dive into this episode. It is $1 versus $1,000 spy detective gear at a crime scene budget channel challenge. I thought I would never say that. That's like that title, and just I read it, but reading it out loud, it's kind of funny because it's like, wait, like they're doing dope or nope at an actual crime scene.
That's what the title sounded like.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. It's a like $1 versus $1,000 spy detective gear at a crime scene budget challenge.
I bet it was
Anyway.
all actual gear and not like, random things.
True. Some of them were kind of random because, well,
Some of the cheap ones are pretty good, honestly.
the magnifying glass. Oh, okay. We're jumping ahead. We'll go ahead and go through the beats. If you want to jump in through the beats, we'll go ahead and go through those really quick, though. Feel free to stop me at any time and want to talk about a certain beat. Basically, we meet our crew and they're sitting on the floor and there's plastic, like a Dexter looking area. And they basically sterilized. Wait, was that red base that they sterilized?
That's a good question.
Or orange
I
base?
should probably pull that up. It might have been orange base. Because
I
I
think
think
it
the
might have
red
been.
base carport is a lot smaller.
And red base is where Woods'
Where Woods' workshop is and where
yeah.
Deb's office was. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to look that up and see if I'm just going to go with orange base. They turn orange base into like almost like a Dexter type of feeling to it. They sterilize the building and they pull in the Mountaineer. Well, Sam does because Sam is strong. And then we do Matthias versus Woods, expensive versus inexpensive. They first start with a digital microscope that Matt brings out, and Woods has the magnifying glass. And they find a fiber. And I know we were talking about this before the podcast. We were thinking, my first thought was silk. But your first thought was rayon.
Well, only because of Matt's love for rayon. I thought, wouldn't it be poetic to see rayon?
And I mean,
in the
looking at, I have the screenshot up here. I'll put it in the chat. Unfortunately, if you are on YouTube and you are on Twitch, you're not going to be able to see this. I lost my chat. There it is. It looks like it's multiple fibers.
It had, yeah, it looked like it was almost like
I
don't know how to describe it.
Up in chat.
The way that there were like gaps between whatever it was in the fiber, like it was almost articulated. That's not the right word.
I mean, we were talking also earlier, because the first thing that Wood says when he pulls it out is piece of a lab coat.
Yeah,
but
I assume
lab
that's 'cause it was
coats,
white.
yeah, lab coats are made out of cotton and fireproof. It's got to be fire resistant. But these look like multiple fibers, and so when I first saw that, then I thought rayon. But it's interesting the stuff that's on it because that's
They're synthetic fibers for sure.
mm-hmm.
And they seem to have like this weird foil, which is what made me think rayon, because I've never actually seen what rayon looks like under a microscope. But I was thinking like maybe that's what makes black rayon look white because it catches the light and reflects it back. whenever it's under like an IR light. But it's not.
I mean, I know we're taking some time just looking at this fiber, but I take it like a personal challenge when Matthias looked at the camera and said, "We'll just leave that for subject 4."
Yeah.
And us being
I'll take
subject
the
4
award.
podcasts, I'm all like, it's like I felt like he was challenging us.
Maybe. Maybe he knows, like,
He's all like,
podcast's on right after.
kind of like, take that podcast.
Like, this'll keep them busy tonight.
But well, I mean, the first thing I thought was silk because of the bumps and the ridges, but now that I'm actually looking at it, it looks very man-made and not nature-made.
It's definitely synthetic for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything more than that.
Zero tried to reverse Google search it and
Insect.
said insect. Google didn't help. What did Squatter find here?
Yeah, that's some of the microscopic images of rayon that I ended up finding. It was like one of the first things I Googled was, what does rayon look like under a microscope?
Yeah. I think it's a fiber with some kind of material on it.
Yeah, I think that's right. It could be
Charred?
charred. I'm wondering
Like
if
something that
maybe
melted?
it's some sort of lead to protect against radiation. I don't know. Like I haven't done a lot of research on it yet.
No
So
offense, Squatter. I love you. I love you with all my heart, but you're not helping.
the clue.
It's a clue, guys. Freaking Blue's Clues over here. Anyway, we'll leave the fiber brainstorming later, but so they go through the digital microscope and we go through the magnifying glass. The fiber that they find that's really interesting was Woods actually found it with this magnifying glass, and they look at it through the microscope, which they say that the microscope won. Then they go through luminol, and did Woods just have a UV light with the luminol?
He just had a little finger UV light, and Matt had
Yeah,
like a full-on UV flashlight.
yeah.
Luminol
Which
was not part of either kit, I don't believe. I think it was the flashlight versus the finger light.
okay, and they were gonna do the luminol, but they realized that they probably had already sprayed it.
Yeah, so luminol has a short reaction time after it's sprayed
Yes.
on blood, and I don't think you can re-illuminate blood after it expires. Is that correct? I'm trying to
No.
think of
So
how
what it
that
is
works.
what makes it fluorescent is it bonds to the proteins
Right.
inside the blood. So I can't see. I can see it getting reactivated. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm not a forensic person, but I mean, on most forensic file kind of shows, they spray the luminol and they shine the UV light on it, and then it just doesn't stay like that. They have to like constantly spray, um,
Right.
because it just dissipates. Um, so no, it's not like a glow stick type. Well,
No. So what Mr. Cruiser's saying is luminol breaks apart the DNA in the blood. I think something like that is
yeah,
similar, which is why, like, once you've sprayed it once, if you spray it again, you don't get another glow out of it. You get one shot,
and
and then it
luminol,
basically expends the blood.
the only way. So I know in those like CSI type of shows, they use the luminol and they're like, "This is blood." No, then they would take a swab of it and then go test it in the lab and make sure that it was blood. That's the only way you can tell it's blood because luminol also reacts to many, many different things. Let me look it up.
Doesn't it react to some cleaning products too?
It also it basically reacts to like every type of body fluid. Like, yeah. Sorry, I should have looked this up beforehand.
You can detect copper, iron, cyanides, as well as specific proteins.
Yeah. I know,
But it also reacts to bleaches, horseradish, urine, fecal matter, or
yes.
smoke residue.
Yeah, and those other bodily fluids that we will not mention because we want to stay monetized. So there's many, many things that can trigger luminol. So we'll go ahead
That
and
would require further testing for them to confirm
yeah.
it was
I
blood.
mean,
I
I would
don't
have
think they're gonna do because they don't have a forensics lab at Spellbound.
well, I mean, technically they kind of have what they need. I mean, they don't have a spectrometer or anything like that, but they could have swabbed that and put it on a piece of glass and then slid it underneath that microscope. And you can easily detect if it's blood or not by just doing that. Um, I mean, Sam was doing that with the fiber. She just Googled what a fiber looked like, what human hair versus animal hair looked like. And so she could tell that it was human hair. Like, that's all you need to do is look under that microscope. They have a very powerful microscope right there. They could have just used it, swab the glass, put it under the microscope, Googled what does dry blood look like under a microscope, and then compared it. So, but
Yeah.
anyways.
I also just wanna quickly double back,
Mhm.
apparently you can respray blood with luminol to make it glow again,
Yeah.
and dried or decomposed blood actually glows stronger and has a longer lasting reaction than
Yep.
fresh blood.
Yeah. I knew that because it's like um I was on a jury duty once and they were talking about blood spatter, and in the video that they showed us of the detectives going through this house, like this is real life stuff, guys. They were consistently spraying luminol. Like they were just like in a spray bottle. And then the camera would go over it and then they would just spray it again to reactivate it. Like they had to constantly spray it. So anyways. Well, with the luminol and the UV lights, they find blood on the driver's side door that had been wiped down. Well, I'm just gonna put blood in quotations right there because we don't know what it was. And then it pooled underneath the driver's side door. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can someone do some research really quick? Doesn't milk glow under luminol? If somebody
Um,
can look that up really quick. I'm like 99% sure I've heard that.
Maybe. You
'Cause
think
if
somebody spilled some milk in the Mountaineer?
I think so. I think or that's how like, yeah. I'm pretty sure milk because of the proteins inside of milk. 'Cause you can get your daily dose of protein with a glass of milk.
Yeah. It might be the vitamins, vitamin A, determination in milk samples based on luminol periodate chemiluminescence system. I don't know what any of this means, but I see the word milk and I see the word luminol in that sentence.
You're like, "That's my quick 5-second Google search."
There we
So
go.
so, let's see. Then they go to finding heat signatures. And with their gear, they find in the trunk 3 bottles of lice blood in the blue vial and in the clear one with the red clear one. So that they basically find the clear stuff that they have already found in their office and the red serums that they have been finding with the RSD. Then they have a fingerprint kit. They are able to lift a fingerprint off of the blue bottle using Matthias's expensive kit. And Woods is able to lift a fingerprint off of the red vial off of just using talcum powder. I don't. Does he even use the foundation brush? I know he tried, but then
He
he
does
realized
once,
it
and he's
was
like, "This isn't working."
yeah, because it
He just
just
doesn't
moves it.
use it again.
Yeah, so he just basically just uses puffs from the talcum powder bottle and uses scotch tape, and he can lift a print, which yes,
Yeah,
that would
he
work.
doesn't actually end up using the scotch tape, I don't think, because they were worried about ruining the print because
Evidence.
it was too small.
Yeah.
But it probably
So
would have worked just as well if it
I
was
know
big.
that sorry. I know that Matthias was talking about going into photoshopping, like cleaning it up, like the fingerprints. But then I'm like, then what are you gonna do? Go fingerprint everyone in Santa Clarita?
We don't have access to a database of fingerprints,
Yes.
so
Like what do you
we don't have anything to compare them against.
yes. Like I mean, unless they wanted to fingerprint everyone in the studio. I don't know though. I mean, they should have done that with the GoPros with Pat when they went missing.
Right.
Where was all this tech then, huh? So that was basically our episode. It was kind of a short one. But we got a lot of evidence, we got a lot of things to think about. And this combined with the evidence that John Doe gave us. So the way I think of it is that this episode kind of has to go with the evidence of with John Doe, not only what they found, but what John, the forensic team had found.
Yes, and it also ties back to the original episode where they searched the Mountaineer back in season 0,
Yes,
I think. I think we gotta definitely compare from that.
and he said again that they found kids' toys.
They found
Um,
beads this time. Previously, they
yep.
found, like, a little fire truck and a letter C.
Hmm.
I think those were the only toys they found previously.
Yeah, and they're finding beads. He even looked under a microscope. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
He
That
didn't
was
know. He
fun.
just wanted to test out his new toy, but it's all like, what are you doing?
These guys are
um,
forensics professionals.
no, well, no, but it's just funny in my head. Like, what are you doing, guys? um, I just realized our stage wasn't started. Ha ha ha. But do you have any theories about all the evidence that we've collected so far?
Like, from this episode?
Well, anything that's kind of like I know you've had some theories about evidence that they have found, but does any of the stuff that they're finding now back up anything that you have thought?
Not particularly, but it doesn't really disprove anything that I've previously thought either.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not really sure where things like the serum in the back, interesting. Why, like, who was storing the serum there? And
Mm-hmm.
then we haven't touched on the rest of the episode either because there was more evidence, and the big one was the one underneath the hood.
Yes. I kind of left that
Sorry,
because I wanted to
spoiler.
know if you had any Fallout maps that lined up with it.
No, I
No.
did not.
No. Well,
Do
it
not. It appeared to be a map of Santa Clarita.
um 3 a.m. Did we have a timestamp on the video of the 863 VHS tape?
No. There's nothing in the video that really identifies the date or time, I don't think.
we do. Well, I mean, other than the street light being on, we do know it's nighttime.
We know it's yeah, but yeah, you know what? It would have to be pretty late because that would be August, so the sun would be setting probably like what 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. So it'd
Yeah.
have to be well
Any
after normal working hours.
Let's see. The sun comes up here about in August, so we're sun comes up about 5:30 here in Arizona, and we're in the same time as Spellbound. So we're looking anywhere between like 9:30 and 5:30. So it could have been 3 a.m.
Could have been 3 a.m. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, the lights being on. I mean, it really could be any time. I just don't know who would be. Then again, there was no cars there. So yeah, definitely after normal operation hours.
Yeah.
The 3 a.m. on the hood, I don't have the hood up, but I do know that there is a lake north of Santa Clarita that might line up-ish with that 3 a.m. I have to bring it up. Let me actually take a look at that map. Are we on the map now? Are we talking about the map now? Let's talk about
Yeah, we are. I just purposely left that out because it was I mean, I wanted to know if anything inside the car had triggered any theories. While
nothing
you're
inside the car.
pulling up that map, last week I had the list of theories in front of me, but I mean the evidence in front of me that John Doe found, and it was so a torn lab coat, a Syntech badge ID with no name, right?
It did have a name.
Oh yeah, Cobalt,
Benjamin Cobalt.
Benjamin Cobalt, um, Benjamin Cobalt, a lab coat, an empty cosmetic bag, and an empty
Yes.
vial of counter agent that everyone here on the podcast believes is the counter agent, not the cure.
That one wasn't empty. The life's blood vial was
Yeah, the
empty, but
lifeblood
the
was
counter agent
empty.
was not.
The counter agent was not, but we believe that it's the counter agent, not the.
Yes, they never mentioned what color the liquid was, which I think
Mhm.
is
But the
potentially where we're gonna end up getting swerved.
the measurements were off. The ones that they found were 100 mil, and this one that is in evidence is 40. So even if it is the counter agent, he's not even getting half a dose. He's getting under a half a dose.
Well, the labels on the, antidotes that they took said, um did they say 100 or 40
I
on
thought it
the
was
ones that they
100.
took? 'Cause they're definitely not 100 ml bottles. Like, those are 40 milliliter bottles. They're the same
Mhm.
size as the red ones, which are correctly labeled as 40 milliliters.
I wonder what color the counter agent is.
Yellow. It's gotta be.
I'm
I hope it's
hoping,
not, but
I'm
I think it
praying,
will be.
I'm praying it's not. It's not gonna be yellow.
There's part of me that wants it to be yellow, but also part of me that doesn't.
I'm probably probably about 90%. Please don't let it be yellow. Like, let it be black.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
see.
I don't know.
So that 3 a.m. on the map
Mhm.
does actually line up with a lake
What's
in
the
the
lake
Santa
called?
Clarita Valley. It is called Castaic Lake.
Mm. Oh,
It's a big lake. It's not a little lake. It's got a dam. It's got a lagoon.
that's interesting because of stuff that we know about behind the
Mhm.
scenes. Because we do know because of behind the scenes that they're supposed to shoot on a lake. Ah.
So we have heard.
Yeah. Yep. So, and again, sorry, we do raise the curtain here. We do take all evidence into form on the podcast. We do talk about behind the scenes evidence as well. So, Oh, I don't want to know that, Zero. Sorry.
What was it?
I read
You know
they
what? I was
posted.
thinking that. I didn't say it, but I did think it.
Yeah.
Because we're thinking about what time could the incident have occurred in the parking lot? How long would it take? How long would it take them to drive there? I'm just gonna put that junction, Castaic Junction, because they call it on the map there. I'm just gonna see. We're okay to call it the name of the highway, right?
I wouldn't on the podcast, but I mean, we'll call it Sroxah Highway. For the podcast sake.
I don't know how far it is to drive there from the junction. You know what? I can actually let's ask Google.
I'm just realizing what you do for a job, and you're just doing this.
No, it's only a 17-minute drive. So it would, if the incident occurred at around 3 a.m., then the drive would have been like 20 minutes north to dispose. Why would you mark the time?
But I know. Why would you mark a map on a hood?
Yeah, there's a lot of why would yous with this.
Like,
It's very I guess that's why it's such a suspicious mystery.
because like why the whole map on the hood type of thing makes me think of Prison Break. Have you seen that show?
No.
Well, it's about a
You're about to lose
guy.
me on references here.
Well, I'll sum it up for you. I'll give you the cliff notes. It's about a guy whose brother goes to jail for murdering a senator, but everyone knows that this guy was framed. So the court systems kind of fail. So this guy goes in. He's like a really brilliant guy. And he decides he's going to get his brother out. And the only way he can get him out of this maximum prison is by going in himself. So he goes in, but before he goes into this prison, he gets all these tattoos all over his body. And then you find out when he's actually in prison with his brother that the tattoos hide the map of the prison.
Oh, okay.
So basically he walks right in with the blueprints on his back.
And nobody notices.
No, because it's like intricate tattoos. Like it's an actual like art piece, but it's hidden in a map. It also reminds me of a real life treasure hunt you can go on right now. I can't remember what it's called. I will look it up in a second. But it's a real life treasure hunt that you can do today. And there's poems. Like I think there's 12 locations that this guy hid these rare. No, it's not geocache. This guy, this like multi-million-dollar, he had this multi-million-dollar company, but he was also bored when he he retired from it. Is it the book one? Yeah, there's a book with it. And it's got 12 poems in it that leads you to 12 different locations where you can find 12 different rare gems that are worth like thousands of dollars. And even back then it was thousands of dollars. He hid them back in the 80s. And I think only 4 have been found.
Oh, wow.
But there's also with the poems, there's also a painting. There's paintings with each location. And so in those paintings are actual like the people who have already found the gems have found maps inside the paintings and clues inside the paintings. So
That's crazy.
The Secret. Yes. Laura, thank you so much. It's called The Secret. Yes. Let me look it up. Let me double check. Yeah, let me double check my.
Should we be mobilizing subject 4 on this?
Yes, please. When after the 4 years, we will now turn to the secret.
Yeah, once we're done dealing with Syntech and whatever they're up to, we have a second mission.
Oh, this is in Spanish. Muy poquito español.
Yeah, I don't know
But
Spanish. I'm Canadian.
yep, I'm definitely closer to you, closer to Mexico than to you. Um, yeah. So basically, it's a real life treasure hunt that you can go on right now. Look at that. That's one of the paintings, isn't it, Nugs? No, it isn't. Is it? Yeah, there's one of the paintings. So yeah.
Is that Keebler Woods?
No. Like if you go and you even the artist, so the man who actually went and hid this stuff actually hid these treasures. He actually passed away, but his family is still carrying on the legacy and still like offering the rewards of whoever finds these gems. So if you find it, you contact the family meets up with you and gives you your winnings. But yeah, so anyway, that map reminded me of that. Well, it reminded me of Prison Break, and then it reminded me of that. Like, I don't know. Could this have a deeper meaning? I would love that.
I think they need to go to the 3 a.m. location. They need to
The
find
3
the
a.m.
what's there. At least just look around.
But
Maybe
I mean,
at,
what do
maybe go.
you
at
said
3
it was a
a.m. Why
big
not?
lake.
It's a lake. It's a huge lake. Like it's an absolutely massive lake.
So are we? Is it going to be
Marker
like
could be further south. It could be on the dam. There is like a dry bed at the dam and a smaller lagoon. So I don't know. It's
the
not a long drive.
no? Well, for you it is.
Well, no, I mean, for the team to go investigate the lake is not a long
I know.
drive. It's, like 10 miles.
Is this going to be like a uh, what show am I thinking of? Well, I know what show, but I don't know which movie I'm thinking of Indiana Jones, where they have to go at a certain location at a certain time, and the moon,
The staff and
yeah,
shine the
and
light. Yeah.
shines the light. Well, this time it would be the moon that shines the light and shows
Ooh,
you
I
where
hope it
the.
is. I
How
want
would
this
you do?
now. I want this.
I want this. Isn't that in The Hobbit? No.
What if they just uncover the Ark of the Covenant?
Well, we didn't find the cure map, but we found this. Found the
Technically,
Ark
that
of the
would be the cure,
Covenant.
wouldn't it? Doesn't it grant immortality?
No, you're thinking of the chalice.
Yeah, it's dark.
No, the Ark of the Covenant is the one that melts the people's faces off because they open it. And you're not supposed to look at it. Like in the Bible, the Ark of the Covenant, a family grew up with the Ark of the Covenant, and when they were transporting it, it wobbled. So one of the sons who had grown up with this thing reached his hand out and stabilized it. This is all in the Bible, by the way. I can't give you chapters and verses right now because my brain is on science right now. But he reached out to stabilize it and boom, dead. Like that's in the Bible. So in Raiders of the Lost Ark, they open it up and faces melt off. But yeah, thank you, Ink Knight. It was Raiders of the Lost Ark that they put the staff in, and it shows them where to dig, and they were digging.
Well, maybe
in
they
the
find the Holy Grail then, and that cures them.
That's what it is. The Holy Grail. Yes, the Holy Grail can, because that fixed Sean Connery up, right?
Supposed to grant immortality.
Yep. So, overkill, Nugs.
Nice.
I'm so jealous. How come Nugs gets art like that? So sorry. Anyways, so we'll go ahead and open up the floor to our audience. If you were watching this on YouTube or Twitch, our link for our Discord is in the description, and we also have moderators that are posting it. If you'd like to join us on the stage, we are here. So if you have a theory, a question, or an observation, please raise your hand at this time. I'll go ahead and give you guys time. But subject 4. I'm going to invite you to speak.
Subject 4.
Subject 4. You just click at the type at the top. Just to click up at the type. I can't talk and I decided to run a podcast. Yay me. Hi. Subject 44L. Hi. Is your mic not working? Okay. We will give you time to fix your mic. Till then, we will go. Somebody's asking, how do I raise my hand to speak? I think you just click the hand icon. It's just like Zoom.
Yeah, down at the bottom.
Okay. HRRJ, inviting you to speak. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm fine.
So, do you have a question, observation, or theory?
Actually, I have a theory.
Okay.
There's been a couple of occasions where there's been spots where there's been hidden things throughout the Mountaineer. One of them was one of the cup holders where they checked that it was broken. They found a metal piece that went to, I think, one of the safes that they found, but they never checked it. And inside, I think that inside that safe, it could be a one of the counter agents.
Okay. I have to be reminded. Do you know Sroxah?
I don't recall
A piece of metal
anything
they
in the
found
cup
in the cup
holders,
holder. Do you know
no.
what episode you were looking at?
That, I think that was the second time when they go through the Mountaineer.
And that's when they had those like suits on.
Yeah.
So they find a piece of metal that might have gone to a safe.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
found
interesting.
Oh,
I'm trying to
and
think of what it could be. I know they found a fuse in the front seat. I'm just going through my my evidence list.
there's
There's a fuse.
another
There was
theory
a
that I
license
had
plate
with
hole.
the murder, with the VHS where the murder was recorded. When the sentence comes out of the building, he has like a brown bag, and when he gets to the Mountaineer, he doesn't have it anymore. No one didn't notice.
Look at it.
Let
Bear with me.
Bring that up real quick too. This is the murder tape.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the I witnessed a murder caught on tape episode.
It's right at the end. So you're saying he comes out of the building with a bag? Gets into
Yeah.
the car?
And when he gets to the car, he doesn't have it anymore. Like he changed, like he hid it somewhere. Like he hid it somewhere before he got to the Mountaineer.
I don't know if he has anything. It looks like he had his hands in his pockets as he walks out of the building. This is one of the things that we don't have access to see yet, right?
Yeah, it's not in the evidence file because what I'm thinking is that they haven't uploaded it because they don't really want John Doe to know about it.
They don't want, yeah. Like there might be something in the middle that we have not seen yet.
Yeah, because it cuts.
It does cut.
We do have a cut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a brown bag. I do see him kind of.
The bag I don't
hate that
see.
cut.
He does seem to have his hands in his pockets. That's what it looks like to me, but who knows? But there is a cut,
Okay.
and anything could happen during that cut. It's possible that
Yeah.
he does have a bag, and they cut because they didn't want to show him hiding the bag or something. But again, that's 18 years ago. So even if he did hide the bag somewhere, it's probably not there. Maybe it could be though.
If you're listening to us and you want to figure out like easier access to this, it's episode I Witnessed a Murder Caught on Camera, and we're at the 35-minute mark, 41 seconds. So 35:41 is when you'll see the guy coming out. And I'm trying to see.
The cut doesn't appear to be on the VHS tape. The cut appears to be in the footage that they record, I think.
So
I think there's a cut on the actual tape.
Okay. So the editor cut it.
The
editor cut it. Yeah, I can. There's two cuts. At 35:46, we're zoomed in when we weren't before, so it kind of cut from back shot to zooming in, and then it cuts again. And the camera's now pointed slightly down. Like I'm talking about Quinn, the cameraman, not the VHS tape. So there's two cuts where Quinn is far way back and then he zooms in. There's a cut. And then there is another cut down.
Yeah. I don't think that the zoom is a cut. It looks like it's just a straight zoom because the person in the video, he continues his motion as he previously was, like one foot in front of the other. His left foot is in the front and it's still in the front when it zooms in. So I think it's just a zoom in, but that second cut is 100% a cut. Like we're missing footage that Matt, Sam, and Woods probably saw, but have not let us see yet for some reason. Which isn't unusual. There are things that we have been told we have not seen for reasons, like when Matt planted the original tracker.
Matt hitting his head.
Yeah, anything could happen in that time. We don't know we have no frame of reference for how much time passed between those cuts. It could have been 3 minutes. The dude could have walked off to the side, done a bunch of things, and walked back by the time we cut back in. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I just got a screenshot of him walking around those bushes.
Yeah.
He is fiddling with his jacket. But
yeah, I'd like to see this tape and the evidence so that we can see if anything happened in the cut. It's possible nothing happened.
Or I would, it would be fascinating to me if the cut was actually on the VHS as well.
That would be weird. But I don't like I feel like they would have called attention to that, like, whoa, now he's at the car.
No, they don't call attention to a lot of things, like the fact that freaking Matt even said, I didn't check the bases for a VHS player. I didn't check red base when he clearly did. That was the only base he did check, and nobody caught that. So there's been a couple of things that are so like, wait, and then the whole like don't trust the tape still bothers me.
Yeah. So never says which tape. Could be all the tapes. I mean, let's not forget, and I say this a lot, this tape was found in a trap. This tape wasn't found in like any other secret location or a lab or on at the studio. It was found inside of a trap that was intended to trap Deborah.
Deborah.
Yep. So, to go back to my theory about last week, we had the badge. We have a torn doctor's medical jacket. We have a cosmetic bag.
Blue.
Yep, blue, empty cosmetic bag. And my theory was that Benjamin Cobalt is our shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm with you so far.
So Benjamin Cobalt is our shooter, and on escaping, dropped his ID and tore his jacket.
Yeah, likely all in one motion.
Likely.
Yep.
Tore his jacket and
And
the ID falls off.
I believe he planted the medical bag to
Cosmetic
frame Deb.
Yeah.
Yes, could have planted it, or perhaps it was always there. Because if
Deb and Wes
if
were
we
in a
assume that
relationship.
this is Wesley's Mountaineer, which we have evidence to support that based on the W bolo tie and a few other things that were found in the past. We know about the relationship. It's not completely unrealistic to think that she may have carpooled or gone places with him in his vehicle from time to time and potentially left some of her belongings there.
And
Yeah.
see, this would make more sense to me in my head because this would make more sense to me in my head because I mean, we know that trap was set for Deb.
Mm-hmm.
So for Deb to witness or see her, maybe that's how they were planning to tell Deb that Wes is actually dead.
In the trap?
In the trap.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think she has to have been aware of this tape because I also feel like this tape is the reason 863 is the number that keeps coming up. I feel like this is the trigger point for the name Project 863.
Yeah, and maybe it's not her stopping Nelson. Maybe it's her getting revenge.
Play. Yeah. I think that's what it is.
I don't know if this could be linked, but this is a theory that I had a long time. Is you remember the episode where Matt Salmon Woods go to that radioactive plateau? That there's like that black goo in the floor?
Yeah.
Could they already be infected with it before they got to that trap? Because it looked exactly like what was in that, like the serum bomb. That black goo that was in the trap.
Yeah.
It was on the outside in the hallway when Matt entered. Him and Quinn pointed the camera at it.
Also, did Woods not confirm? I think it was in an episode of We Are 863. Did Woods not confirm that the blue barrel that he found that the tubes by also contained like a black liquid?
And I know when Shades was a guest on, his theory is that it's a symbiote. So this mold is some kind of symbiote that binds itself into the host. Because Deb mentions in one of her letters that it actually moves around in the body to evade the
antidote specifically.
The antidote. Was it the antidote or the counter agent she was talking about?
No, it is the antidote. It
The
avoids
antidote.
the antidote. There's also mention in a previous document that mentions somebody having to have an amputation in order to stop the spread, potentially, of the serum moving through the body.
Mark. Patient Mark.
Yeah. I don't remember which.
I hate Matt sometimes. So we all make fun of it, and we all made fun of it at the time, and now I'm concerned. Do you remember, I think it was season 0, where Matt went on a long spiel about spores?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about spores.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't get to see what happened in that in that rant though.
But the thing
came up
is like,
too.
is that what life's blood is?
A
Mhm.
spore.
Because, well, we have mold, and that's how mold spreads,
it's
is through
mold?
spores.
Could be a
Well-
fungus.
Well, fungus, mold, they all spread the same way through spores.
True.
Mhm.
So I think we shouldn't have been laughing at Matt. Oh,
Oh, mold is a
but
fungus anyway.
yeah, it is. That's why I don't eat mushrooms.
Sweet cheese.
I don't. Well, actually, it's a texture thing for me. It tastes like, it feels like rubber when you bite down into it. Don't like it. But anyway, thank you so much, HRRJ.
Yeah, thank you. Lots to think about.
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Oops, cut him off. Sorry about that. Wild Mustang. I'll go ahead and invite you to speak. Just click up at the top to accept. Hi. Oh, something happened. We'll try it again.
Round 2.
And hi.
Hey,
How are you?
good. How are you?
Tired, but good.
I bet it's probably been a long day.
Yeah, well, wasn't so much today. I did 30 hours in 2 days at my real job, Monday and Tuesday, so I'm pretty tired.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Well, did you have a question, comment, or theory?
I had a theory about the murder.
Okay.
Ooh.
What is that?
I think, and including some of the evidence that they found from the Mountaineer, I think that B-27 is Benjamin Cobalt. And that he was the one who murdered somebody in the car.
B-27 because of, like Nugs was talking about it last week, it's because of cobalt. Looking up the periodic table of elements.
I didn't hear that about last week, but one, the B from Benjamin, and this is the first time we've seen the name Benjamin Cobalt,
Mm-hmm.
and the B could just be, his first initial, and then there could be some significance for 27, but I didn't know that.
It's number 27 on the periodic table. Cobalt is.
It's cobalt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Solid
so
theory. I think that's 100%.
I do
correct.
too. I think it's 100%. And but it's okay. Refresh my memory. B-27 was the one that was talking about euthanasia, right? The drugs for that.
Yeah. He was the one who was communicating with Deb about, I think it was Deb.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. About euthanasia, and he was the one who was like pretty okay with it.
So this is alleged. So this is planted. This conversation
we have
was.
reason to believe it didn't.
Well, Deb said
as
it
we
didn't
saw
happen.
We don't know that the
Deb's-
conversation didn't happen. We're pretty sure Deb wasn't a part of it.
So we
Pretty
know B-27 is probably a bad guy.
Could
He's
be,
either-
unless he wasn't in the original either.
Oh. So they swapped out the names?
Could be. It could either be a complete forgery, completely made up, or the conversation may have occurred with different participants, and there's no way to know who the original participants would have been. Could have been B-27, but that could have also been planted there for us to throw suspicion at that individual.
Benjamin Cobalt just sounds like a bad guy name. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Like, it sounds like a James Bond type of like villain.
You don't like
Benjamin Cobalt, huh?
You don't like Ben? Bens are evil?
Yes.
What about Ben Kenobi?
I was thinking Ben 10.
What about Ben 10?
What about Ben 10? Wait, I'm trying to think. What was that? There's a creepypasta. Ben Drowns. He's a
Oh
bad
yeah,
guy.
that's a Zelda one. That's from like 2010.
Yeah,
An old one.
that's
an arc.
That's a bad.
It's not just a creepypasta. That was a full-on arc that lasted for like a decade.
But he's a bad guy, right?
No, Ben was a kid.
Yeah, but
Ben
he
drowned.
kills. And what does he do now? Skipping off into
Nothing's
the
dead.
sunset?
I think he drowned because of the game. I don't remember. Honestly,
Uh,
that there's a rabbit hole. If anybody feels like they're not already engaging their maximum mental capacity trying to figure out 863, there's a whole rabbit hole for you to go down.
Go down to Ben Drowns, and maybe it's
Now Ben
connected to
drowned.
Benjamin.
It's over now, so I mean, at least there's some nice closure.
Is he the body in the lake?
Ben drowned. 3 a.m. It's a
Ben
crossover
drowned.
everybody wanted.
That nobody asked for, but everyone wanted.
Exactly.
See what you made us do, Wild Mustang. Thank you
Took
so
you guys
much.
down a rabbit trail.
That's just me, though. Like, that's just my thinking. And I think any kind of like researcher or scientist goes down so many rabbit trails because that's how you brainstorm. That's how you think outside the box. Like, if you just have one consensus like thought and you're just like after one goal and you have blinders on, you're going to miss so much. So you have to go down the rabbit trail.
And then if you research anything that you don't know, you have to go down the rabbit trail to figure out what that means.
Yeah. Would Matt know what Ben Drown is?
He's the right age.
Mean, huh? Just kidding.
I mean, when this emerged as kind of like a viral sensation in 2010, he would have been online and like diving into this stuff probably. Potentially, depending on how interested he was in mysteries and creepypasta and args. I don't know though. I think not.
But it would just be funny.
There are reasons that I don't think that he is too familiar with it.
Benjamin Cobalt drowned.
Benjamin Cobalt drowned.
I mean, there's with the science babes, they have a lot of theories that I get to peek at before you guys get to know about. And a lot of their theories are a lot of like lore, and a lot of them fit. Like, a lot of the lore stuff fits better than like the actual science and math does. But so don't know. That could be. All right. Thank you, Wild Mustang.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Just be checkmark. No, they raised their hand and then were the hands cleared. Uncle Frank, I'm inviting you to speak. You just click up at the top. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
So do you have a theory or question or observation?
I have a theory.
Okay, what is it?
In season 1, when they were first going through the Mountaineer, in the back seat, they found what Matt said looked like coagulated blood. I think that might be life's blood, because after a while, I unintentionally tested this. After a while, blood turns like a dark brown, and what was in the car looked like it was a vibrant red. So what I'm thinking is the person who was shot was one of the original scientists working on life's blood, and he was showing it, and whoever shot him or her thought it wasn't good enough, told him for it, and when they got shot, they threw it into the back seat. It broke, and yeah.
That's interesting.
I subscribe to the theory that it was life's blood shortly after we learned life's blood was red, but then went back to it being blood after learning of the murder in the Mountaineer. The color, I'm just trying to scrub through the video to find it.
And another thing, I think I'm not 100% sure. I think what was on the mat was on the passenger side.
The mat was on the back of the passenger side, correct? Or was it actually? I don't know.
You know what bothers me about the blood? We determined last week that the bullet didn't go, it wasn't a through and through shot. So if the bullet wasn't a through and through shot, why is he bleeding in the back seat? So he gets shot. Okay. I'm using my hands because I'm freaking Italian and you can't see them. But anyway, bullet enters front chest. Man hunches over. The blood wouldn't be in the back unless it was a through and through. Does that make sense?
It could have dripped.
It could have, not that much.
How did it gotten in the back though?
It would have, but they found the majority. Yeah, how did it get all puddled in the back? Like,
it could have dripped. It could have been a driver's back seat floor mat because we saw the blood dripping down the back of the seat, and it's possible that when
and the side
clean,
yeah,
they flipped the floor mats.
No, it still doesn't make sense. You would have more blood on the consoles.
But they cleaned them.
We saw them try to clean.
Yeah.
That would have been all over the car. It wouldn't have been, unless they need to check the seat for a bullet. Because the passenger seat's missing.
Passenger seat is missing. The driver's seat is still there. They could tear the driver's seat up.
Yeah. And see if they can find the bullet.
Do they have any X-ray stuff? They had thermal. That
Metal detectors.
They had thermal. They had thermal. They did have that magnet.
Didn't Woods get a metal detector on an episode of Dope or Nope once?
I think he did.
I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure they bought everything online. Yeah.
Maybe they should check the driver's seat in the Mountaineer with a metal.
Well, you have springs that would set off the metal detector, though. I'm just thinking. Go ham. Yeah, just go ham on it. See if there's a bullet, because that would make sense. If there was a bullet inside the seat, and the foam, Mr. Shades, if he was here, maybe the foam just absorbs the bullet.
Maybe. I mean, if it went through, it would have lost a lot of velocity on the way through the body.
It does, yes.
So the foam could probably stop it at that point. Or if it hit a spring or something that absorbed a lot of energy.
Because I'm the blood pooling in
the seat, in the fabric. I guess
that's what I mean, like ballistics gel. When you shoot ballistics gel, you can't see the entry because it like.
Well, it's more elastic than a fabric, right? Like
repair
fibers. But you can repair fabric pretty easily.
Yeah. Not know that you're repairing and the bullet was inside.
Sealing the bullet inside, yeah.
Yeah. But because that's the only way in my head that you would have pulling in the back seat is a through and through, because then you have the entry, you have an exit and an exit would be bigger than the entry.
It would just flow.
Well, the wound
Yeah.
itself would be so then it would drip in the back. It would pool in the back. Whereas if it just went in and lodged itself, you're not going to get that much blood because the bullet's acting like a cork.
Mm-hmm.
So
It has to have gone through because we see the drip down the back of the seat in the most recent episode. I mean, it's the only logical explanation.
So they need to go back
and tear up the
and
driver's seat.
Yeah, take that driver's seat out and tear it up. I mean, they could easily just go to the dump and replace the seat if they need to drive it again, but I wouldn't drive it because you stole it from an evidence
There's
bin.
not a lot of that car left anyway at this point.
No, I mean there's still a lot. I mean, I would have gone through. I would have pulled all the seats out. I would have pulled up the carpet. I would have pulled out. I would have gone through everything, pulled out panels, side panels, because we know the tape was in a panel. Like, I would have gone thoroughly through that car.
I'd like to know how soon after they took the car, this investigation of the car took place, because John Doe made it sound like somebody was going to be at that lot in like the next 2 hours
to pick it up,
to do something with it.
It had to have been at least a couple hours later because they had to have time to park up the whole warehouse.
Somebody would have to have noticed that this vehicle's missing by now.
There are a lot.
Honestly, at this point,
things.
the only way for them to not get in trouble for stealing this car is to solve the murder.
Yeah. Well, you took place in the SOS chat, right, Sroxah?
It was present, yes.
Yes. What did you vote for? Did you vote yes or no to go stealing the Mountaineer?
I think I was one of the first person that said to go get the Mountaineer. I think I'm highlighted in the video as being like, that sounds like a hint, go get it.
Voted no, and I still think it's a dumb idea. I mean, you go steal the evidence from the evidence locker.
I thought they were going to go get it and find the antidote. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I didn't think that because they clearly said that they found the antidote. They don't keep evidence inside a vehicle. They pull it out and put it in an evidence locker.
There could have been more than one. I mean, look, they found 3 new vials of serum. So clearly, the police didn't find everything in that car.
No. I don't know. You're just getting yourself into more trouble.
Yeah, but that's entertaining.
Yeah, but it's entertaining. Dance, monkeys, dance.
We can't solve this murder if we don't have the scene of the crime.
Yes, you can. Internet sleuths do it all the time. Like us. That's us. But,
I think we're getting close to solving this murder. I think they need to figure out the 3 a.m. location.
Yeah.
They need to find the bullet.
Definitely. Well, the thing is like, even just like the fingerprints, you find the bullet. Yay. Now what?
Well, you would know for certain that it was somebody in the driver's seat that was shot if you find it in the driver's seat. So at least we put that to rest, because there's theories out there that the driver shot the passenger. I mean, that should already be put to rest based on the splatter.
Yeah. But the passenger seat's gone.
Passenger seat is gone.
Maybe he just dropped a milkshake.
And it made a big flash and a big gun noise.
No, I'm saying the driver dropped a milkshake and the passenger was shot, and that's what's in evidence. because they
At
found the
same
bullet in the
time, or,
passenger seat.
Like these are separate
No,
separate
with
events.
separate occasions, because like if we have kids' toys in the car,
True.
kids are messy. Kids
are
drink
messy.
milk.
Yes.
Yes.
Case closed.
Dun dun dun. All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it because my brain is fried. Oh, and the stupid fiber.
Yeah. Unsolved mystery, that fiber. I'm gonna go spend the next 3 hours of my night trying to find a match for that.
Same. I'm gonna be after because I find it like a personal, like I found that like a personal attack. Like, take that, subject 4. Oh, they know everything. We'll just
subject 4.
yeah, we don't know, so we'll just leave that for them. And I'm all like, yeah, you leave that with us. We'll find it. I do. As of right now, as of the 20 minutes I got to investigate this, I believe it's rayon that has been burnt.
Okay.
So
There's reflective material in there, and we've had an extensive conversation about rayon, how it works.
rayon burnt. We know that there was a fire. When was the fire again? We don't have a date for the fire,
Don't know
do
about
we?
the fire. No.
Could it have been the night of the murder?
Could have. There wasn't any fire on that tape. There's no. You don't see any buildings burning.
No. True. Anyway. I'm getting tired. I don't know about you guys, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah. Just going through the chat, just saw your blood. Ooh. Sorry. I know I said I was going to wrap it up, but Ink Knight, one of my mods, just posted Artemis, it was Deb's stage death.
Interesting theory.
That would eliminate Cyphus from chasing after her if Cyphus believed she was dead.
Why was the tape in the trap? That was meant for Deb.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
That's what
that
I
is the only thing that bothers me.
In a trap meant for Deb.
Or it could have been in the trap for Deb, like, I know what you tried to do. That's what she said.
Maybe.
Well, we can only theorize right now. Again, we need more data. Data. Can't
More
make
evidence.
bricks without clay. Yeah. Yep. Sherlock Holmes. So we'll go ahead and wrap up the podcast. Thank you so much, Sroxah, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
What was your Twitch again, so people can find you?
I'm over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sroxah.
And your YouTube channel that you do your Blender?
Sroxah Creations. I don't know if you can just go to youtube.com/Sroxah Creations. Probably not, but if you Google it or search it on YouTube.
Sroxah Creations. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming. And everyone, go ahead and check out. I'm telling you, it's definitely worth looking at, like, just to see the evidence in 3D form. It gives you a new perspective of things, and even just watching it spin around, like the camera shots that you do with it, it's just like you start developing theories just staring at that.
Yeah, I just like making things spin.
It's just, I just like to spin. Thank you so much to all my moderators on YouTube, on Twitch, and here on Discord. Thank you so much for the hard work that you guys are doing. You are just part of this podcast, just as like everyone else. I also want to end with the conversation does not end here. We do have our Discord VC will open up right after this. Usually everyone goes over there. You guys all chit chat and stuff like that. I usually pop in. I do have an appointment after this, but I'll probably pop in later. And I'd like to hear, because usually you guys get more time to start researching and developing. And by the time I get back into the Discord VC, you guys have like super theories, and it's so awesome to go right back in there. So the conversation does not end at this podcast. Head over to our VC and we can talk about it there. There's also Twitch. Like Sroxah. Sroxah is one of our Twitch guys. We have Jordan and Angel. We are 863. They are over there.
We are subject 4.
Yeah, we are subject 4. Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that, but we are subject 4. They are a Twitch channel that does just like us, but they don't do behind the scenes. They are more into what is in the episode and what can we grab out of the episode. There are other podcasts available. The Science Babes now have their own YouTube channel. You can look them up. I believe it's just the Science Babes, 863 Science Babes. You can look them up. They have, if you are heavy into science and math and even computer science, they are your go-tos with theories. They are very in-depth. They're not just like, I think it's neck theory. So these ladies are actually deep into the science, and they do terrific investigation work. There's also Spellbound, plus.spellbound.com. Post your theories. I love seeing your theories. So if you want to at me, you just at Artemis, and it's got the copyright sign. It'll pop up. But if you want to at me, I like to look through those. If you DM me your theories, I like to look through those. But please be patient with me. I get about 30 theories a day, and I try to go through them all. But I love hearing your theories. There's also Reddit. Sroxah will see your theories on Reddit. So once again, there's a lot of avenues for you to bounce off ideas and theorize, because the more that we start talking and the more that we get together and we brainstorm off of each other, and don't get hurt. Like if somebody knocks down your theory with some evidence, it's like, it doesn't fit the evidence. Don't get upset. Just start building up more theories and coming up with more theories, because that's what makes subject 4 the best subject. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you around. Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast, and I'll see you later, Sroxah. Thank you.
Thank you.